In this video, I'm going to go through and explain the warm-up that we do at the beginning of my classes. One of my students was wanting to do this warm-up at home before they practice, but they're having trouble remembering exactly the sequence that it goes in. There's possibly more students that I don't know about that were having the same problem, so I decided that I would put this video up online for you guys so you would have something you could follow along with before you do your practice at home. For those of you who do not attend my classes, I want to let you know that this is not the kind of warm-up you would do before you lift weights or you would go for a run or do a really strenuous activity. This is more the kind of warm-up that you would do to just loosen things up, kind of warm up and loosen up your joints a little bit to get them ready for moving in preparation for something like Tai Chi or Qigong. So if you're getting ready to go for a run or if you're getting ready to lift weights or do some sort of strenuous activity, then I would recommend looking for a different warm-up that will be more suited to those activities. If you're getting ready to do Tai Chi or Qigong and you just want to loosen things up and get things ready to move a little bit, then this is probably the warm-up that would work best for that. Because in Tai Chi and Qigong we focus so much on moving energy throughout the body, something that is important to include in your warm-ups when you're getting ready to do Tai Chi or Qigong is something that helps loosen up the joints and break up any blockages of energy that are present in the joints. So you'll notice that in these exercises we basically move the joints a lot, and that's basically what we're doing. There's not a whole lot more to it. So to start with, we're going to loosen up the fingers and the wrists, and at the same time loosen up the toes and the ankles a little bit. So you start by interlacing your fingers, and you're going to put all of your weight on one foot and the other foot just touches with the toe. And you start by rolling your wrists forward. So what the hands are doing is one hand is pushing over the top and flexing down while the other hand flexes up. And then they roll and you change. So the bottom hand pulls in, top hand pushes out. And that's really all that there is to what the hands are doing. At the same time that the hands are doing that, one of your feet is circling around. You're basically rolling the ankle around with just the toe in contact with the floor. And when you feel like that ankle is sufficiently loosened up, you just switch to the other foot, do the exact same thing, and the hands don't change. They just continue doing what they were doing before. Next, we're going to move to the shoulders. So you just roll the shoulders forward. And then you would roll them back the same number of times that you rolled them forward. Probably everyone has done that exercise in their warm-ups before, so I won't spend much time explaining it. You just roll the shoulders. The next part of it is something that has been used as a warm-up a lot, but if it's used incorrectly, can be bad for your back. So I'll explain how we do it in class. You're welcome to do whatever you want, but this is the way that we do it in class because it's a nice, safe way to still warm up the same areas of the body, but without the risk of injury. So you bring your hands up and your elbows up to about chest height. And normally what people do is they swing from side to side. Most fitness instructors, however, have gotten away from that because it's not very good for your back to be doing that swinging very quickly from side to side. So we use a similar motion, but we slow it down and we use tensing and relaxing the muscles to help increase the circulation to the core muscles and to the back and basically help warm up in the same way but safer. So you start the same way, but you twist to one side slowly, and as you get close to that side, you start to contract your core muscles and tighten up everything in your back and your abdomen and your sides, and then you relax. As you come back to center, and as you twist to the other side, you do the same thing. Notice that you're just tensing the muscles. You aren't pushing really far into the stretch. Only turn as far as is comfortable, but as you finish that turn, start to tighten everything in your core. Then you relax as you come back to center, and you continue to the other side. And relax. Breathe however is comfortable for you on this. Some people like to exhale as they go to the side, inhale as they come to the middle. Other people like to just breathe however they feel like, and just twist from side to side. On this, also notice that I'm not moving my hips from side to side. My hips are staying fairly stationary, and I'm just twisting my torso, because we want to warm up the core. If I twist from side to side, then I'm not really I don't really have the same opportunity to warm up the core. So it's just twisting the torso and then relaxing, and twisting and relaxing. Then you just relax the hands down to either side, and the next part is where we start warming up the hips a little bit more. So we've done the hands, the arms, the shoulders, the core, and the ankles a little bit. Now we're moving down to the hips. And this one's very simple. It's just like you're standing in a barrel and you're rubbing your hips on the edges of the barrel all the way around. So you want to keep your head fairly stationary. It's not swinging your head around in a circle. It's keeping your head fairly stationary, not completely, but fairly. And you're sending your hips around in a circle. And then just continue to flow around. And then you would reverse it, going the same number of times in the opposite direction. And this also helps warm up the core and the lower back a little bit, but the main focus is the hips. We're trying to increase circulation of those hips, and we're trying to relax them and get them ready to move without injury. After you finish those, widen your stance a little bit. You're going to point your toes out a little bit, and what you do here is you shift from side to side, but instead of just shifting, you make circles with the knees. So it goes inside and out, and then this one goes inside and out. So it's circling around this way. This continues to warm up the hips, starts warming up the knees, and it helps warm up the ankles and the feet as well. Now, the depth of your stance and the wideness of your stance, completely up to you. If you want, or if it's more comfortable, you can do the same exercise up higher with your feet closer together. If that's what feels more comfortable for your body, that's totally okay. And you can still get the same warm-up out of it. Or if you like adding a little leg strengthening exercise to it, then you can go lower and help strengthen the knees and the ankles and hips, as well as warming them up. After you're finished with that, bring your feet together, place your hands above your knees for support, and you're just going to circle your knees in one direction. So circle the knees around. Again, make the circle only as big as is comfortable for you. And then reverse, circling the knees in the opposite direction, the same number of times that you circled them in the first direction. When you finish that, keep your knees bent and you're going to push them back and bend them forward. Now, I've seen before where people will push back hard and flex the knees hard. I wouldn't recommend that. That's not something that I would do. In class, what we do is we bend the knees forward and then we push them back, but we leave a slight bend. Because all we're trying to do is warm up the knees. We're not trying to super stretch them or flex them in the wrong direction. So it's just a gentle back and forth rocking motion to warm up the knees a bit. After this, you straighten the legs. So here's where you would make the legs completely straight, or as straight as you can comfortably. Then you relax the upper body toward the floor as far as you can go comfortably. So here it's not so much a stretch. You will get a stretch out of it as far as the hamstrings go, but that's not the main focus. The main focus is to relax the upper body, to put your head down as low as you can comfortably, and to allow gravity to pull on your head to elongate your spine and stretch out your back. So that's really the focus of this one as we do it, but you will get a hamstring stretch out of it too, which is a nice bonus. So when you're here, you don't want to be super tense, you don't want to be grabbing your legs and pulling your torso down. You want to just go as far as is comfortable, relax your head, let gravity pull on your head to elongate your spine, and then just go as far as you can comfortably. Then as you come up, you're going to round your back and you inhale as you roll up. And exhale as the shoulders relax down. Normally in class we would follow this up with a standing Qigong practice, but that's how we start the class. We warm up in that way to get everything loosened up. We move on to a standing Qigong, and then after that we would go into our Tai Chi practice, whatever we're working on for that day. So that's the warm-up that we go through. I hope you found it useful, and I hope you enjoy it as you practice. Thanks for watching.